This recording is on 6/24/20 as of 7:10 Central Time. Scum officer. You guys are good?
Who's taking the reins?
Well, we should go with the first
Yes.
topic.
You might have. I go first. Robs and I had some talking points I wrote down.
Yep.
So I wrote some stuff down. One thing I guess that stuck out to me was transparency. It kind of seems like being an Anna do everything, which is cool, but it definitely seemed like it stressed them out and kind of keeping us in the dark. Yesterday, it kind of felt like parents not letting their kids know something for their own good. It's like that's not necessary. We're all adults here. We can understand if things have to change. Just give us a heads up. People move things in their life around, like schedules, work, other things around to come to raid because they want to have fun with everyone else here. I like all you guys. I'd like to continue raiding with you. But yesterday, like there were a lot of pissed off people, and which was understandable. Like guys like No Kite, he asked me to say stuff for me, messaged me a whole spiel, but like he let everyone know ahead of time that he can't raid Thursdays because he has to work that day. He's already taking a day off per week to raid with us on Tuesdays, and then when AQ comes out, he will take Thursdays off. Like that's an extreme. Like he's changing his work schedule around, and everybody's making sacrifices. RL 1 foot, they have a young kid, they have to take turns, taking care of because it's a young child. Things like that, and not everybody's in the same boat, but it's always nice to just give everyone the heads up because yesterday was a great example of why. Yeah, sorry, that was one thing. It's a little long-winded, but one thing I was thinking with Rob's is we kind of need to restructure how we do our leadership. Like right now, it seems like officers and class lead titles are just honorary. No one's actually doing anything. I think Lolita brought this up a couple weeks ago. Like it's just no one's actually doing class lead stuff. Maybe we can get back to basics and like help people out. I know this game is 15 years old, but like I didn't play it. I didn't have a computer at that time. And people could use help, or just if anything, it could just get everybody together. Uh, we could have the class lead say, "Hey, let me have a spot in the loot council because who knows my class's role better than me because I play it." That can actually be a function of a class lead. They could come to weekly meetings, decide on if this item drops, who is it going to go to. You don't need to guess anywhere because you're going to know because we're having weekly meetings. It can be 30 minutes, 15 minutes. We're all adults here. Not everybody has time for this kind of stuff. We can leave a message in our leadership channel or officer channel. We have all these tools available to us. We just need to use it to communicate, which is like one of our weak points right now, right?
Yeah, that's one big thing we need to do is we kind of need to like make layers, not even like say who's in charge of who, but just to like relieve some of the stress of everything. That's why we have class leads, is so we can have people be like watching out for the warriors and people watching out for this and that. If people don't want to take that role and don't want to take that up, that's fine. We can just pass it off to the next warrior, next priest or whatever that wants to pull that. We don't have to force that job on anyone, but if you take up that job, your job should be to like be on top of whatever your job is.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, Varric. Just so you know, we're just having an officer meeting and we're recording everything for transparency. So
If I'm doing,
we just started. You haven't missed much, man.
yeah.
Alright, cool.
So Varric, what's gonna happen with the recordings is I'm gonna record the minutes. I'm gonna throw it up on my YouTube. And then that way, that will be the transparency thing, which I think would be a good segue into transparency as a topic.
Yeah.
Sure.
So continue with what I was saying. Just the major talking points I had were loot, class leads, roles, restructuring leadership, transparency, and the guild bank. I think I spoke to some of them. Bank, I guess we just talked, and I guess GTV is gonna take that over.
But just GTV though.
I mean, what do you guys think? We're all here talking. Like, let's figure it out.
I'm fine with that. I don't care. But the big thing is like we should be dispersing like to banks, like enchanting bank and this and that bank, because I remember with the Scum Bank 1 and 2, like I don't remember which one is like what I sent to what. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing.
I just
yeah,
always
I
use
literally
one.
just sent everything to Scumbank. That's
Yep,
it. I didn't
same
even do.
here.
Yeah, nothing to 2. I'm
Yeah,
fine
but
with
then when I'm picking up
GTV.
stuff, like I don't know who I talk to. If I just talk to like Bean or Ann or whatever.
So here's my suggestion. We need to, of course, pick trustworthy. We need to pick someone who frequently is on as well,
GTV.
and
GTV.
more.
That's why GTV would be good with the bank. I think.
Yep.
But-
He's on a
I
lot.
mean, I think
Hold on, guys,
we're
hold
all
on.
on the same page, right?
Don't not everybody talk at the same time. But at the same time, I think we should have the bank split a little bit so it's not all on one person as well.
Well, can I ask, did Anna or Bean do anything to send GTV any of the Scumbank stuff that we have
That was
already?
my question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we haven't.
just try to
Because
give him
I
a-
don't care if he holds everything as long as he's willing to take the time if he does take a break like Bean or Anna were to send
mean,
everything to the next person. I'm
does-
talking worst case scenario.
Does anyone have an issue with just GTV taking over? Because I think that's
No.
the best
I-
path
I-
forward. I don't think we need to split it up.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it either.
I don't have an issue with
As
it.
well, the thing is, does fine with it. The
Yeah,
same
I'm fine with it.
same reason though is we do not want to put GTV same scenario that Bean and Anna were, where they're
The
doing
difference
all this
is
leading, they're doing
Yeah,
all the
so
bank
this-
lead.
I think what got to them more than anything was just the constant battle for attendance. I don't
The
think it was
friendship
anything to
drama,
do
that's
with the. I don't think
Yeah.
it had anything to do with the guild bank. So
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So with the whole thing you were going with 1 foot, that's what I talked about was restructuring leadership or just delegating. I tried to ask Bean, hey, what can I do to help? I'm all on all the fucking time, man. So let's figure out who can do what, right? Like we got Mello in here because I think everyone agrees he's a big part of the guild and he could be one of 2 raid leads, him and GTV. Things like that, and we'll just divvy up all the tasks so no one's overloaded or overburdened and no one will get burnt out.
that was
I-
my. It so are Bean and Anna are both done playing for now? Is that the? I wasn't 100%
That's
sure
the
on that.
assumption.
I was talking to Anna, and she's just like venting the whole time, so I don't think she's quite ready to play. I'm not sure. We'll
Right
just see
now-
if they log Thursday.
In all honesty, it would be better if they're taking a break to just both take a break and just do their own thing, whatever. Like, to be honest, we should get Blackwing Lair done and then be done for the week. If everyone wants to take the rest of the fucking week off till next Tuesday, that's what we should be doing. We should be recuperating.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
here,
and come up with a set plan, set plan for next week. You know, let's
Yeah.
like
We'll have a meeting
what you
before
said.
Tuesday.
Be transparent. We could watch this video again, go over notes or whatever.
so here's my suggestion. Don't in our discussion, do not include in Anna and A. Exclude them. They're not part of any capacity. Omit them.
Well, if they want to see any of the stuff that we're doing later, but yeah, for now, I'm not
For
gonna go.
now.
None of us should be going out of our way to inform them. I mean, if they want to be involved, they can be, but they shouldn't be right now, just
Yeah.
because they should be taking a break.
Sound like I was
They do.
telling
Yeah, I mean,
Anna.
in reality, it's real life over the game. Like they got some
Yeah.
real life shit they got to figure out. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing with what you guys just said. GTV and Mello, of course, being raid leaders too, go into like BWL. You guys are typically here. Your days are free. There's going to be a minimal chance that you're.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I've been here for every
Yeah.
raid, and I will be here for every raid.
Yeah, I feel like G's the most invested because
Yes.
Thunder Fury.
Unless
Yeah.
like something like critical IRL comes up, and then I'll let you guys know, like, hey, I can't be there this day or whatever.
Okay.
But I should be there every day.
So my next thing is we have our 2 primaries. I would like to come up with 2 backups, just in case if they don't show up, what happens? They can't class. We have 2 other people who step up.
So somebody that has in-depth knowledge of this game.
Yeah, or goes watch a few videos. And
Yeah.
Every strategy is already laid out for this.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that 1 foot? I got distracted. No, sorry. I'm trying to PvP and keep in contact,
Okay,
which is working. But like, I just missed that one little bit.
We should have Mello, and GTV are the primary two. You could have a backup too, just in case.
Checking.
Okay, usually Viet is with me. As long as Viet's fine with that, I wouldn't mind him as like the secondary raid lead when I'm usually with, or maybe Gnome or something. Too bad Quiet's not here. We could ask
Who
him.
has
Yeah, I
the
was-
most game knowledge?
I mean, I'm always looking. Oh yeah, sorry, secondaries. Never mind.
I mean, I'm fine with content that we've already done. Once it gets in AQ, you know, then once we start doing it more,
You
know,
no,
then
you
it-
have to be. You have to be ready to look stuff up in church. So if you're not willing to do that, I'd say just then.
Yeah. So one thing I want to recommend is maybe someone in a non-critical role. So like, you don't want to have GTV micromanaging every portion of the raid, every movement, every troop, when he's got to focus on his own, keeping the the raid alive by doing his job as a tank, right? So maybe we could have Mello as the primary raid lead and G as like he'll call out things as he sees it, and then we'll swap people in and out, right? Just to make sure we have backups.
I like
Yeah.
that, and I
Yeah.
think Mello stepped up last night and saved raid 1, so he did a really good job raiding. So I like that.
So Mello will be our primary. Will be more of our call out guy, secondary. Then
Yeah, I
Viet will
also
be the
do think we need to
backup.
split up smaller tasks, such as like the mana thing. I was talking to GTV, like even if we had someone that doesn't talk do it, like when we need to stop for mana, we could have them mark the tanks with a skull. But we need to have someone like watching that, so the raid leads don't have to. Raid leads should be paying attention to game mechanics. You know, dispels. You guys need to be standing here, whatever kind of stuff. The raid lead shouldn't have to worry about every pull. Do we have enough mana? Are we all buffed? Are we like, you know, that should be taken on by a couple people
Yeah,
as well.
no, the mana thing. I think a great person in here, and I don't mean to be the wrong way, Robs. You'd be great for that because you are a healer. Yeah, you watch your mana. like
That's
a
who I
hawk.
was thinking too.
You also talk, which is you're like one of the people that I'm not saying that insultingly. I'm not saying that as a joke or like what being sarcastic. I mean like literally, he's a person that uses Discord and will actually speak up that everyone can hear him and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'll
he's
focus
not
on
afraid to just speak his mind and tell you straight up. Like,
That's talking shit.
that. Yeah.
So that was
No
one of the
sugarcoating.
talking points. With the raid, right? I was in the military, so I'm using military terms. GTV, Mellow, platoon commanders, right? And we've got 3 squads in the platoon. We've got the melee DPS squad. We'll have somebody in charge of that. Then we'll have the range DPS squad. Then we'll have the healer squad. That can divvy things up. One healer to watch over everybody's mana. They keep track of that. Range DPS keeps track of their mana and health and whatever. And melee, whoever the lead is, I think Varric or Bertha, most experienced. And yeah, we could do something like that. What do you guys think?
What you want? Hey there.
Sounds good to me. I forgot Big B's not in here. He'd be a good person to have in here.
He's having issues with his power or something. In the storms or
Later.
something.
you guys in your storms over there.
I don't know where does he stay now? Not here. Not me.
Florida?
He stays in Florida.
No, I'm asking.
Oh.
No, me and Rob are in
Hello,
Florida.
man.
We got typical storms all the time. You never know when it's gonna start raining.
Be seeing ya.
So
Greetings,
one of the
man.
things that I was thinking about, and why I asked about Anna specifically, Mello left the guilds, and
Spirits be
if
with
there was
ya,
a way to
man.
get him back, I think that's something we should pursue.
What?
Who?
No.
Miso?
Miso
Or
Philly.
Miso, sorry. Yeah.
He's already in the guild, and I don't want him back in the guild.
Yeah, same. Like the dude's a raid
I
logger. The
know
dude
he's a
blew
raid
up over
logger,
nothing. Like
but
I
he
get
leaves. He leaves
like
a lot.
everyone was pissed about that raid change and all that. I get that. But he was the only one that was just like, man, you guys are like fucking started shit over it. He took like personal offense to it, like it was against him specifically. Like the guy blows up and he's already guild quit before this.
He's
Like
guild quit before.
over what I don't remember. So like,
How you doing?
you know,
man?
I don't want someone that blows
Be
up like that.
seeing ya.
Well,
We'll
I
be
wasn't
fine
aware
without
of
him.
all that, so. But
We'll be
either way,
fine without
then
him.
we need to recruit another shaman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or we just have a worthless DPS shaman go hit Presto.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't worry about Miso in this scenario right now. I think should just be focusing on get the restructuring.
I mean, we
Players,
need healers, man. Like,
Are we
You
in
can't
desperate
raid
need for
without
gear?
healers.
Because right now we're just short miso, and to be honest, I looked at some of miso's parses and stuff, and like sometimes when he healed the most, it was because like he wasn't dispelling and other people were dispelling, kind of shit.
He does the most because he spends every second of the fight casting a spell and never
Yeah, he
stopping.
just
And
spams
he just
chain heal.
shrugs and stuff. I mean, it's not difficult. It's
Yeah.
we're fine without him. We do have to have somebody else in place, but
If
Yeah,
we-
I'm not saying we don't have like someone to replace. I'm just especially like all that gear we lost on him. But I'm just saying we need we don't need someone amazing. He wasn't like amazing. He just spam chain heal.
And what about Bath? Because I know that they were trying to have him flex as a druid for AQ, but he's one of our better warlocks. So
So
he
I think that was
wants to.
because Oi was gone, but he's in the Air Force. He was gone because he had to do Air Force things, and he's back now. He hasn't missed a raid other than that. He hasn't missed a Tuesday. And I understand that was one of the problems. He wasn't showing up on Thursdays, but I'm sorry, I sound a little biased because he's one of my real life friends. But he gets up at 5:30 in the morning to work, and so I know it's kind of rough for him. But sorry, I'll stop making excuses for him.
Oh yeah,
No, but
that's
I also
cool.
get it. You're right. It's just a work thing. He'll be back once like there's a fucking rioting going on. Like he's part of the defense of that.
Yeah, and they just had to send more National Guard back out there, so he's probably getting back out there soon.
I wouldn't,
so
I wouldn't
that's
hold
different.
it to him.
I mean, we want to bring Bath back as warlock.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
fine.
whatever you guys want to do. I just
I think what we really need to do before we make a decision like that, we need to look at our roster, see what we have and what we need, and then make that kind of decision.
Guys, I would say as far as Bath, he should be the one to decide it. Because if we force him to play a role he doesn't want to do, it's just going to cause problems down the line.
Yep.
True. Where I'm going to put my foot.
So I understand that we were trying to go for an optimal AQ comp, but honestly, we should just go with who we have because we have people that show up on time every day, and I'd rather have people that show up than an optimal 10 perfect heals, like 4 of this, 4 of this, 2 of that, and this many DPS. No, let's just grab who shows up. 'Cause
Yeah,
we have the
again,
people.
we
To
just
a
need
degree.
to figure out what we need and what we have right now. That's the biggest thing.
Okay, so
we
here's
don't
the
know what we have.
Here's the thing. We go over that list that Anna did post of people they started on a spreadsheet. Take that and run with it and subtract and add people that need be. We might need to do some recruiting.
We're definitely going to need to do a little bit of recruiting unless we
Cool.
had some people that are coming back or whatever.
We'll just
And
From what I heard, we had 47 people wanting a raid. So
Okay.
basically
Let's just
lost
see how tomorrow
3.
goes, right? Let's just see tomorrow.
Okay, so then let's talk
Judge off
about
of that.
Okay, so let's change the subject to our schedule then for Tuesday and Thursday.
I
mean,
say
I
for
don't
now
think-
we go back to Blackwing Lair MC on Tuesday, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, we cleared
That
the
would-
3 hour
what
cap
do
for
you
the day.
all what do y'all think about doing BWO first? Go in buffed up, smash BWO. Then we don't need buffs for MC.
No.
We can
I'm-
literally do
That's
this
what
shit in
I'd
our
like to
fucking
do.
sleep.
I'm fine with that
Yeah.
too because now we've started getting it down better.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do one more MC first again because we don't know what our composition is and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we should start doing Blackwing Lair first just to beat the hell out of it
Alright,
because
so-
we started dying less on the labs.
Yep, so starting the week after next week, it will be BWO first, then Molten Core. But for next week, for I guess, does June go to the 31st or does it go into July at this point?
Goes this July
Okay.
30th and July 1st. It's my birthday.
So we'll be
Yeah, I
going.
think June's 30.
Okay. So starting July 1st. Oh, I'm getting dotted up, lovely. Starting July. Just for that 1 week, we'll do Molten Core, then BWL, just to get a feel of what we're gonna be.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
if we decide to change, we should let people know, like, on that Tuesday.
Yep.
Just be like, hey, guys, this is the last time we're going to be doing MC first. We're going to do BWO next. But,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if people notice, not just all of a sudden, hey, by the way, we're going to fucking.
No,
use
100%. That's what we're gonna start doing now. We're gonna start dropping, whatever we put the roster up as a week before. That's what we're gonna have to do. That's where we went wrong this week. The roster even said Blackwing Lair MC, and then we changed it to ZGMC, and that was against what we said we were doing, what we know we usually do, all that kind of stuff. So as long as we
Yeah.
put it in like the roster, if people are surprised by the change, we post the rosters Tuesdays. You're supposed to sign up after. You're supposed to at least check it out after raid.
I mean, I get what Bean was trying to do. I just think the execution was not super great.
No, it's
And
100%.
if he'd been transparent at the beginning of raid rather than like after finishing MC and like ripping the carpet out from everyone, I think it would have got a lot smoother.
Yeah.
And part of that's like my fault too, because Bean had talked to me and he told me he was going to do that, and I should have pressed against that because I knew it was going to cause issues. So I apologize.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get what the idea of it is good, but it's kind of just like all of us officers didn't really know about it, so we look stupid. People were whispering me like, "Yo, what's going on? I'm like, dude, I have no idea." Like, I just I don't know, it just felt stupid. And then I was locked out as EG because I've been going on my own time trying to get rep, so I was
Yeah.
locked out. So I was a little pissed off about that.
Same
I'm
with
not gonna
TMA.
lie.
Yep. So I think as far as ZG, let's keep it to a Thursday thing. If you can go, we can do alts, but if you're gonna take like your, say your main is a mage right now, and you're gonna take the druid in there, you're gonna stay as that. We're not gonna do any wishy-washy if people are gonna change things up. They're like, I want to take my, and be like, oh no wait, I want to take my mage. No. Say
Oh
your
yeah,
druid-
no.
Say your druid,
Whatever
you
your
take
main
your
is
druid.
right now in MC and Blackwing Lair, that should be your main into AQ.
So we don't budge on those because we know that's gonna fucking come up. The other thing I can say as far as that goes, yeah, some people have issues rating Thursday, and I see where Bean wanted to do it, where he wanted to get people to raid Thursday.
Well, Thursday should be our AQ day. So
Here's the only thing I think that was dumb about that plan, that the whole idea of that plan, and it's only a small thing, is the fact that right now Thursday isn't as important. I get we should always be doing that ZG to get everybody their rep and their last pieces of gear. You know, there's a couple pieces we need, but at the same time, like we shouldn't be like so forceful on everyone to make that Thursday at the moment, because nothing important, like seriously important, is going on. We get MC and Blackwing Lair done in Tuesday. If we need to do ZG, you know, when AQ comes out, people are going to be more more willing to like change their schedules up because it's going to be different. You know, there's more priority of like gear, there's more raid to do. Like right now ZG, if once or twice a week like people miss ZG, that shouldn't be or Thursday, that shouldn't be the biggest deal in the world right now.
yeah,
I think it's a big deal though, because if you're trying to get two groups and you only have 32 people show up, like that's impossible. So I think that's
Yeah.
like, I get what you're saying, but when AQ comes out, this is going to be a Tuesday, Thursday guild, and I think we're silly if we don't see that that's what's going to happen.
No, you're right. We should take it serious, and we should take the schedule serious, just because we're gonna have to do it when AQ comes out anyway.
get
But
people in the routine at least.
yeah,
But as long as we're upfront with people, like I don't see an issue with that, you know. Like
The
for
biggest thing-
instance,
no, go ahead.
my brother, right? He has an infant. He can only raid one night a week. I've already talked with him. He already knows that he's likely going to be benched, and he's cool with it, and he understands. Like it's not a big deal because you know we've been upfront, and as long as we do that with everyone else, I don't think there's going to be an issue.
Yeah, totally. And we can even recruit like floaters or whatever. We can talk to them ahead of time, be like, hey, there's not always going to be like, you're not always going to be able to get the full rate or whatever, but we're going to need people here and there for like the flakes to fill in. And as long as they're cool with it, like I've been on servers before where I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I'll go in whatever this raid. I don't care if I get locked to one boss. That's just to help out or whatever. You'll have people that are fine with that, so we can like recruit more or whatever.
I mean, Dorian is a perfect example of that. He would just show up for NAF, help out, and then that's it. He would be locked up.
Yep. And we won't be able to rely on them like all the time, like, oh, we need someone for this day or whatever. But like, they'll just be that extra that we'll be able to grab when we need somebody.
Okay, so then when AQ comes out, let's just like pretend as it did come out. Days we want to do Tuesday. There.
Do we just want to focus AQ first, just because A, we'll be learning new content. B, there will be like all fresh gear, so every drop is it maybe not worth it, but there'll be fresh drops to see at least, and it's mechanics to learn. So I say focus AQ first, and then if we can get to MC Blackwing Lair, let's get to it.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
realistically, I
You
think
know,
I think Tuesday, Thursday, we're going to be doing AQ. We should do both days AQ and then do MC Blackwing Lair like another day or Sunday or something.
Yeah, at least our first week or two is going to be AQ both days, I'm assuming.
I would.
Because if it goes how BWO went when we first started, where we just like died on Razor
It
Gore,
will
like,
not go like that. It
yeah,
will not go like that.
I mean, that a big issue of that was attendance at the time, and that was what was fucking us.
yeah, that's
so.
what was messing us
Yeah,
up.
That's
that's
something
true.
we're working
That's
on
true.
now.
All right, so
Yeah.
for right now, Tuesday, Thursday, do the focus of AQ. I do think this though, if we have it rough in AQ, getting our shit stomped in, sometimes the best thing to do is just take a step back, something else. Well, I would say since
Agreed.
BWL is the one that's behind it, I would say go to BWL over MC.
Oh, for sure.
He has bindings. That's the thing.
That too.
That-
Yeah.
We'll have to,
we-
yeah, we have to
We could-
figure the bindings out.
Oh, we've never seen
We
one.
can always pug like get 25 people and then get a few to supplement. They could be people needing the
Yeah,
raid
true.
on a weekend, or we
I
don't
mean,
need the
I
whole
got
crew.
I
yet.
got time on Wednesdays too, so I mean,
Yeah.
I could raid another day if we needed to. We could always find volunteers who'd be volunteering. Like I'm sure people are still gonna need BWL and MC gear too, so I'm sure people might want to step up.
Should
This is
and do
something
it.
we're going to have to talk with the entire raid about because it
Yeah,
also depends
correct.
on other people's schedules. So when it gets close, when we hear about an AQ phase drop, let's talk about it during raid and say like, hey, we were thinking of AQ Tuesday, Thursday until we get it down pat, and then, whatever we're going to do. Try to find out other people's thoughts because it matters about what everyone can do.
Yeah, see if everybody else can raid on an off day or something like that. And like it will only be for probably the first couple weeks anyways till we get AQ down to like a one night clear.
Yeah, we know for a
exactly.
fact that AQ, like the full week thing, is going to be a temporary. We'll eventually, and maybe that should be the thing. We'll just say, guys, we're going to focus on progression. Once we get it locked in, we're going to reincorporate WL and MC back into the rotation. I do think ZG though should be a back burner as
I think we
Because-
should stop ZG
Less
until
people.
when AQ comes out. Yeah.
Yes, because ZG, you can honestly 20 people, not that hard to get together.
Yeah, ZG, do on your own time. Like I found a pug, super easy. Like it's no excuse.
And-
like,
Yeah,
that's
there's
it.
tons of pugs.
Yeah, and
You're
here's
It's not
rolling
like you're
anyways.
desperate. It's not, yeah, exactly. You're not desperate for gear anyway. Yeah, exactly.
When we
You
get
roll
to a
for it
comfortable
anyway.
spot with AQ and all that kind of schedule, maybe we can talk about doing ZGs on Sunday for enchants or whatever. We can figure that out. ZG's not
Or-
important
We
though.
have to throw an AQ to me.
Well, we say we got AQ20 too.
That too. Yeah, shit. We got to figure out.
Yeah. I mean, we just get our feet wet in AQ. We'll see how it goes on the first week, and then we could go from there.
No, I agree.
Still
With,
just got to get in there.
I agree with Eric. We're trying to put too much forward. We should do what is the necessary.
Yeah. No, we're thinking too far ahead too, just because right now this isn't a big deal about our schedule or that schedule at the moment. We need to figure out what
It's
our
not even
schedule
released
is
yet,
now.
right?
So,
Yeah.
It's not even so. Let's do this, guys. Simple thing to put forward. Tuesday and Thursday's focus will be progression into AQ. After that, once we feel comfortable, we'll reincorporate BWL. Then once we get the time down, Molten Core as well. So Molten Core will be put on the back burner. No offense for the bindings, but that's kind of sounded like
No,
what we're
that's
agreeing
fine.
on.
No, anybody with free time can help outside of those
We'll figure
Tuesdays and
that out.
Thursdays days.
And as far as in that time for Molten Core and ZG, you can always make a post in Discord asking people, we're gonna do a spontaneous ZG in on Saturday at 6 o'clock or
Well-
whatever.
Oh, you're talking about you want to do that a spontaneous CG run this week?
No, not this week, but as an example of like when
Oh,
we get into AQ.
Gotcha.
We can probably do ZG after Blackwing though tomorrow.
I think we should just do Blackwing Lair and then call it a day because
Yeah.
it's been a rough
What
week
did you
with
go?
everything that happened. We want people to feel comfortable, enjoy their raid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Anna
but
and
if there's
Dean's
20
presence
people that
should be
want to
missed.
do PG, fuck it, I'm down.
Yeah,
Well,
we can bring that up.
Let's try and not burn people out because this was a lot.
Yes, that's my thought, Onefoot. Exactly. We don't want to burn people out. We're trying to fucking fix everything right now. Let's just enjoy a week.
All
So,
right.
Yep.
Next topic, I think, since we're talking about BWL, is loot for people. What class leads, officers should.
I think first and foremost, the class leads need to reach out to all of their people, and they need to get a complete list of all the items they need from Molten Core and Blackwing Lyre, and then they need to prioritize that list on what they desire the most. That way, we can collect that and look at it collectively to determine where loot goes. But the other piece too, before we were a loot council, but really it was just Bean and Anna, and now I propose we instead have a real loot council
Yeah,
where
we have to
stuff's
actually make a
discussed.
loot castle.
Yeah, Viet and I were talking about that.
I know GTV
Classic.
was kind of more in depth with the Loot Council, but I think it still was the Bean and Anna show.
Yeah.
Is that right, GTV?
Cause like I just feel bad for our warriors. Our warriors are needing like so much shit compared to all the other classes.
But that's the thing
Yeah.
about warriors. There's only so many items that we can get for them. Like chromatic boots
Yep.
is their best in slot boots. That's about all that drops from Blackwing Lair for them. Besides like the back piece and weapons. Like a lot doesn't drop for warriors. DPS wise.
PFT.
Yeah, DFT. But like there's so
Alright.
many people that need that. Are we gonna only prioritize warriors for that?
So
Like,
this
that's
is
things
what
we have to
class
figure
leads get
out.
together for.
I mean, a rogue hasn't got DFT at all yet, so I think the next one probably needs to go to
Yeah.
a rogue.
I think we should focus a curious to the rogues. I think it was dumb that I think a warrior got a recent Acuria. I
Yeah,
think we should be
Dorm,
focusing Acuria to rogues and DFTs
Hunters,
to warriors.
Granted, a lot of
That's
rogues.
just my thought.
It is our best in slot ring, but there's a lot of people who I think like Don Julio's not the greatest, but still is a good compromise.
It's
What?
one of the best.
It is the best. I don't need any more hits, so I'm bitching about nothing. But as far as
I'm just saying that that's just my thought.
yeah, no. But as far as class leagues go, yes, we should reach out to our other class players like Rogue, class lead itself. Reach out to very the necessary people and figure out. Okay, guys, pick your top 3 items out of both and Molten Core. Start with that.
Shit, that's one item for me.
Some people it might be one item because we're at that point. But as far as it goes, then we need to discuss when Loot Council when something's happening like Dragon Fang. Been here the longest, deserves it, and also have other people been getting loot as well? Because I know
Well,
there's
that needs to be decided before we step foot in a raid.
We need
Yep.
to. We need
So
to
class leads get together on that.
on Monday night.
EFT's about to drop any fucking day now.
Yeah, so
Wow,
hunters, rogues, and warriors, class leads need to get together and talk.
What if we did like a Google spreadsheet that all the officers had access to, and we could keep updated with who gets what?
Rogues
That's
did,
the best move.
The Rogues did try and attempt something like this in the past, and we honestly just posted like the item name one. Post it to you.
Yeah, everyone just put it in our chat. You just put you
We
did
can use
one.
the class channels for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
have
was
them-
even thinking
guys-
we would do the class channels like that to post our gear. Because to be honest, a couple times we just dick around too much in the class channels. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but we should focus more on dropping, serious information
Yeah.
for the warriors and that.
That kind of stuff should be entered by each individual player who wants what. Then it should be pinned so we know and we don't have to go digging for it as well. That way, when it's time to look at it, it's like, quick look, talk for seconds, it goes to shacks. Something like that.
You could just make a pin that says a loot list too. Even it wouldn't be hard to make a pin for it.
Well, what we need to do right now is decide who should be on Loot Council, though, because I think that like just being an Anna, I think there should be what do you guys think? At least 3
Class
to
leads.
5.
I think there
leads.
should be at least one rotating member. That's the only thing I definitely have to say about that.
And an
I
odd
think there
member.
should be like one member that always like is rotating, whether it's a random guildie, whether it's a class lead, whether it's whatever. It should be a rotated member to make people
So-
like feel involved.
I'm gonna say this: exclude Mello
That's fine.
because he's gonna be raid leading. He'll be doing marking, and the same with GTV. I'm not ousting you guys. I'm just saying we're trying to divide responsibilities
We're
here.
tanks too. We shouldn't
Yes.
be stopping for the and sitting on top of the loot bodies.
It should be people who are like DPS that aren't really
Well,
necessary.
Everything should be really predetermined. We should already know who's gonna get what, right? If we had
to a
these
degree,
meetings
to a
weekly.
degree, to a degree, but you don't know what's gonna drop though.
It's
Or
always
who's
going to
gonna
be a
show up.
changing variable. Like I do kind of like what Bean and Anna did to one point, where it was like a weapon hasn't dropped in a while for this person. Their main thing is dual wielding or two handed. They should get the next one. Like you got Viscag recently. You were the next person that needed a one handed weapon. You were the best up to like get it. You were the next up in line, pretty much. So that worked out pretty fair, in my opinion.
I like to speak on loot a little bit. I just think been raiding for a while, and I just think like in the past, like 90% of the G quits were item drama loot related. So instead of just doing all this spreadsheets and stuff, why don't we just go to a DKP system and eliminate all that bullshit?
That's also a thought. We have always talked about a DKP system.
Like it's fair for everybody. There's no drama. There's no bullshit. Why don't we do that? Less
I
to keep
mean,
track of.
And then we
say
can keep a
there's
soft reserve system for things that like how we did soft reserve for Drake Fang Talisman to the tanks
Yeah,
first.
you still reserve the certain items for the best classes. Like let them spend their DKP first, then open up to the second and third best classes, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that happened to my buddy's DKP guild where an enhancement shaman just pulled and then took DFT and like 4 people like rage quit over it.
Yeah, so like certain things we should be discussing of like this person's getting this first. Like I mean, I don't know. I like a DKP system, but I also like the idea of like the people who have been main raiders and stuff can get like certain items first.
I
Like
mean, you
do we
get
really want to
DKP
always do
through
DKP
raiding.
with weapons?
If
Yeah,
somebody
I get that.
more, then they're going to get the item. That's the whole point of it.
It does make sense on that. It does eliminate a lot of the headache.
All of it.
But it doesn't put the item in necessarily what's best for the raid either.
Yes, it does. You restrict it, like we said.
No,
If
That's
there's
a good
something
point.
that's
We can
best for
rich.
hunters, let them go first.
Yeah,
then open it up to the other classes.
I do agree.
We
with
can also
Logan.
do a system of like saying some people like DFT. We should have like, oh, hunters can't roll on this
Yeah,
kind
well,
of thing.
DFT is gonna be like, all right, all rogues, all warriors. You know?
Yeah.
If it's a rare item like that, let the first 1 or 2 to the best in slot class, and then open it up to everybody else.
Yeah.
I agree with Umin on that. DKP and biz items we can just look up real quick, and we're like, okay, this is for warriors. This is one for rogues. So technically, you guys are a 1-1 on this, so it's open to the rogues and warriors. Everybody else will have.
When would you cut it over? Would you start that with AQ and just continue what we're doing for Blackwing, or just start everyone at 0, or is it going to
Start
reset at
every-
AQ?
I like that for
You-
the AQ
you
reset.
reset DKPs when new content comes out.
Yeah, that's best move.
That sounds
Well,
fair.
Yeah, I think that's the
Some
fairest thing.
It's fine.
Everybody's at 0. Can't be any fairer than that.
Yeah, but we'd also have to talk with the main guild because the guild right now is used to loot councils. So I
Yeah.
mean, when people leaving because
If people
don't wanna
like it, everybody else fucking hates it. It's caused so many people to quit.
yeah, but that's the thing too, because if some people like the loot council and some people don't like DKP, that's why they joined.
But that's the
council.
thing. They didn't like Bean and Anna's loot council, where Bean would take a Mashundere and Anna took a Neltharian's tier. That is not like the best in slot immediately for a mage, and that's not the best in slot immediately for a shadow priest. Even if it is on their best in slot list, there's priority of locks are better with a Neltharian's tier, and mages and locks are better with a Mashundere than a shadow priest is. So that was the bigger thing, is like the fact that Jorm got the first DFT for the DPS. I was a little miffed because it was like Jorm just got back. I get he's been a long raider for us and he only left because of work. That's totally understandable. But to give him the first DFT, like at least give birth to the first DFT. Like Bertha was the warrior class lead. That's a big item for warriors.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think it's what you got it. GTV's got it. Jorm's got it, and Big Bertha's got it, right? The four of you guys
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, and then Asbestos got True Flight bracers, and Jorm got a Curia, which no warrior other than Tank should be getting a Curia.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too. Like I thought I was hoping Carry Me was gonna get it because I know 1 Foot you got it already, right?
No, I don't. I opted for Don Julio's and Neff's ring.
By the way, I'm pretty sure that he rolled
Okay.
greed on that. I don't.
Who did? Oh, really?
Yeah. So I
Jorm
think it was
rolled
just.
greed
But
on
either
it.
way, like it's not even like what he rolled on it. It's about the fact that who doled it out and their mentality and you know what I'm saying. Like I'm not getting mad at Jorm or Asbestos for getting those items. It's just the reasoning behind it.
So here's the thing, like
Yeah.
we're gonna be split on this. Some people want DKP. I understand the nice perceived aspect of that. We can also have this as an open vote to the Raiders themselves. You guys rather want to go with or go with a new council made up of the officers, the class lead officer.
Yeah.
That respect.
Yeah, this is a
Well,
With the
rating
rotation.
decision.
This is also going into the future because we wouldn't start DKP until AQ comes out. So for now,
Yeah.
we need to focus on how we're going to distribute loot for next week.
This is
Like,
something we
that-
should. This
yeah.
is something
For
we should
Thursday, for
solidify.
tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go for tomorrow. Yeah.
This is something we should solidify though, so that we can tell people this is what we're gonna. So
Yeah.
they're
At the
not
very least,
caught.
you guys figure out a loot council.
Well, guys, one
Until
person at a
AQ
time.
is released, I think, damn, we should bring it up. Like right now, we need to focus on keeping the guild together and just keeping
Yeah.
things on track.
Yep.
I think that's going to be too much at once. Like, we need to just focus right now on how we're going to distribute loot, and then we could figure the DKP thing. I'm not opposed to that. I think that'll be fine once AQ comes out. But for
True.
now, we should just focus on tomorrow.
We should
Yeah.
take tomorrow and just stick to the normal setup of get through Blackwing Lair, loot council, figure out who our loot council is, and then either at the end of raid or next week bring up the AQ DKP thing. We don't even have to bring it up tomorrow again. Like tomorrow can just be a day of like, let's get Blackwing Lair done. All of you guys take the fucking week off and just don't think about World of Warcraft or whatever. Or
So
if you
for
do want to play,
Blackwing.
do.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
So for Blackwing Liar for tomorrow, I think what we do is we make a list of every item that could drop, and then we make a pecking order for who gets what.
And that would be. We should give them a little more time than that, and we should use, as we said earlier, the class channels. We'll pick their top 3 items.
Well, no, we can use that data, but I'm saying like we need to
Yeah.
get that data.
Yeah.
Like we need to get those messages sent out now.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
way, because we can't go in tomorrow and not know. Like if a DFT is dropping, who we're giving it to. That's
Let me
just
ask
gonna be
now.
a mess.
Who would want to be loot counselor right now? Who wants to actually, who feels they're fair and not fucking, can actually dole out loot to other people? We should have 5 different classes.
I'll do it.
So
Can we
I would
fully
do it.
how? So
Yeah, I would.
okay.
because can I point something out? Because I really haven't talked. I don't think we can be fully fair if we don't have all the data and all the shit that Anna has. She has like all the info, who's gotten what and stuff. So I don't want to sit there wasting time inspecting people to figure out who's gonna get what.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
have
think
to
it's-
inspect them to have that information pop up.
Like
Well,
you
doesn't
gotta
know what
inspect
they
them.
have.
Who's got what without having pulling up a spreadsheet or whatever. She's got all that stuff.
Well, I
yeah.
thought the loot council add-on actually showed you the slot of gear that was.
Yeah, it should. It should show.
Who's gotten
It
what in
show-
the
yeah, it
past and
shows-
stuff like that. Who has what in that slot, or who's gotten the item in the past, who's gotten what, who's gotten
Yeah,
something
no, I know.
recently.
Yeah, we
So
need that
we need to look at
spreadsheet. Is there a way that can anyone reach out to her and see if we can get
I'll
that?
see if I can get that from her. I'll message her right now.
Yeah, because
So-
then it also goes by on who's gonna need and who's not gonna need too. So we can't just be like, all right, we're gonna give it to this person, but if they don't need it, then it's like, all right, well, fuck, we're gonna.
That is something we're gonna have to say literally during tomorrow's raid. We're gonna have to tell everybody because I know Zank and DJ Chow have a problem with this. I have a problem with this. Like, we need roll too many things that we just kind of want, and it's not really our main spec need. Tomorrow we need to solidify that idea of like, guys, we need you to take this seriously. Only need roll if it's gonna be your main set for Blackwing, for AQ Blackwing Layer, and greed roll if it's anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Lay down the law first. I agree.
So another thing is, are we going to stick to a strict like this is best in slot for the class, or this weapon is not viable for this class? What if this guy wants to play it that way? Are we going to be at the point where we say no, you're not going to get this because this is not the optimal min max blah 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 mumbo jumbo? What if
Yes
that's
and
how
no.
they want to play? Like, what if I wanted pole arms? Oh,
That's
we
fine.
should just give at least
You can
give, like,
G-quit.
the first few.
My thing is, we shouldn't be giving an enhancement shaman DFT.
okay,
But if they want those boots off of Nefarian, that makes sense.
that's the best in slot.
DFT is too much though.
Agreed.
DFT is fucking huge. DFT is everyone's best in slot end game trinket. So giving it to an enhancement shaman who's never gonna put out the DPS with it that they should be, is stupid. But giving them the boots is something that will get replaced later on in the game, no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
So
Rogue
this
or
go along with what Umin was saying. With the DKP thing, we can set a priority tier, like priority 1. This goes these guys. If no one wants it, the next priority of people can roll on it, and continuing. But maybe we could set these kind of things in place now, so we won't have any confusion tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow's Luke Council, so we don't have to worry about people rolling on things because we'll just straight up tell them
Alright.
like, "Hey, man, you're a warrior rolling on the hunter bow. You're not first priority." You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a scenario like that.
We
Yeah.
could hold on to all the loot and disperse it at the end of Blackwing.
Gotta
That's
do it in
crazy.
2 hours.
Yeah, no.
No.
We
No,
can whatever's fire.
I do agree with what said the DK.
I mean,
I do agree with
It
Umin.
was
We find out what people's best in slot items are, especially if it's a high thing. And then lock it to those two. And once we get through all those,
yeah, just lock it to classes.
Yep. So warriors, rogues.
Warriors or rogues for DFT. That's until that we all get it. Then that's it really. Who else is it good for?
I mean,
Hunter?
we've had 4 warriors get it. I think it's a rogue's turn. That's
Yep.
just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I agree, and I'm not just being biased.
No, and that's the thing. I like that. So we are optimizing at the same time and getting people the best gear because that's what they're gonna go for. And I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. If they're trying to get something that's not their biz, I feel like they should give us a reason like I don't need as much hit, or I need the hit, or I need this item like for my cloak for Fire Moth. I've got enough hit. I need like
Yeah, there should be some solid reasoning, and there should be like a solid backup behind it. Again, like no matter how hard an enhancement shaman could argue for DFT, like they should never get it because they'll never get that damage output.
no, 'cause
Unless every other warrior and rogue has it.
yeah, yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, no, that's different. That's different.
When the
Well, the
warriors,
data would be
hold on, guys. When
I
the
wanna speak on
warriors,
D-
when the warriors and the rogues are done with DFT, open it up to the others. It's a simple thing like that. Biz first, then once everybody has it, open it up.
Yeah, if you got every warrior and every rogue with DFT, you're fucking smashing shit. Like,
I just want to speak on DKP. Like, if you're people having problems with raid logging and whatnot, nobody's helping the guild out. Like, you don't have to just raid to hand out DKP. You could say, "Hey, Wednesday, we're gonna go farm these mats for raid or whatever." Everybody that shows up gets a little bonus DKP. It's just more incentive to help the guild out.
I do kind of agree with that, especially
I'm gonna have so
donating
much.
stuff. And
Rob's would be fucking swimming in the shit then.
Yeah, no donating.
I'm not-
Donating
I'm not
should not
asking-
be DKP.
No,
fucking-
donate, I'm
we
saying
have to
help farm
regulate-
mats.
Guys,
Hold on,
guys,
one
guys,
at a
guys.
time, please.
One person. The recording will not will
Yeah.
catch everyone. It'll be a fucking mess. One person at a time.
I was saying that it's not about donating. It's, going and farming dark runes or whatever people need shit crafted or something like that, or go help get somebody
SGC
CC
runs.
rep up or something.
well, whatever it is, it has to be regulated because otherwise people are just gonna be milking all that shit all.
Again, we can figure out the DKP thing when AQ
Yeah.
starts to come out because they're gonna mention it, and then we're gonna have 2 weeks before AQ drops, at least 1 week. So we have a whole week after they announce AQ dropping to figure out the DKP situation.
Yeah.
Right now, we just need to figure out how we're gonna dole out loot tomorrow. The biggest thing is loot council, and if we're going to lock out people. I just think that we need to mention to people again that like watch what you're rolling on. Like you shouldn't be like just take awareness that like you should not be need rolling stuff that is not your raid setup. That's one of the big things.
So this is where
Know your
class
need
leaders
and know
come
your
into
grade.
play. Class leaders should know their class, so you should have a list already of like what is good for you and your guys and gals. So, and we
Yep.
won't have any of those problems.
What about? Go ahead.
I want to speak on class leads real quick. I just feel like being a shaman, we're kind of a kind of casual guild. We don't require certain raid specs. We don't require consumes. So it just feels like this title is just like empty. I'm like, what do I have to check? Like, did you bring your onks? All right, good. That's the only thing I got to check.
That's fine sometimes, but you also have to be aware of the other people's gear, things like that. Okay, sure. I guess what you're saying is we need to figure out what your jobs are.
I mean, if you look in the Warlock Discord, I make sure all my locks know what their banish targets are, what their curses are. That way we're prepared.
I think the biggest thing I would say for like a healer, at least in like ZG for example, is making sure that all your shamans are aware that when they should be dropping poison cleanse totems, when they should be focusing their chain heals, things like that. Maybe I don't know.
When they
I
shouldn't
don't know
drop
your class.
totems on Broodlord.
Yeah, they shouldn't be dropping totems on that room. Like that's something that should be mentioned in your guys' Discord of like, hey guys, who is dropping totems in this week's Broodlord? You shouldn't be doing that. Not even yelling at them, just mentioning it, keeping people aware.
As far as like consumables, saying, those are just some nonsensical things that you should know they should bring.
Yep. Not at the last minute say, "Oh shoot, fuck, I should have got this later earlier, but I raid logged, so I didn't buy anything."
If we do go with the DKP system, God, I can't speak. DKP system, and you want to reward people for coming to raid prepared, make a tier list of like, okay, how many do you have your food buffs, your elixir? So you've got 3 out of how many? Or set it at 5, so you'll get an extra 5 DKP. If you've got like everything.
Hey, let's talk about
World
DKP
buffs.
later.
Yeah,
please.
okay, let's
We're off
do
subject. The DKP is not important
yeah.
right now.
Gotcha.
Talk about
Alright.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna happen
Everybody's
tomorrow.
excited about
Okay,
that,
well, let's talk about tomorrow. Attendance. We have more than 40 people that want to raid. What are we going to do? Because I know certain people have been asking me a bunch of questions lately, and I'm not really prepared to answer those questions.
Can anyone post a roster right now and do an at everyone for tomorrow's raid? Let's figure out who all can post in. Obviously, there's going to be more than that because there's going to be people that don't pay attention to the Discord. But just saying, like, if we do that now, at least we can say we tried something at the moment.
Because some people are going to have to be told no tomorrow, and I
Yeah.
know that people were told no Tuesday, and I was getting a ton of questions about it. It was really annoying.
So yeah, if anyone can post a roster right now while we're
got it.
talking and doing this, please. Thank you. Perfect. Be it. Okay. Next
I only
thing
see
for tomorrow's
31.
rating,
Where'd you
we
post
need
it? Sorry.
and talk at one
working.
time. We need to figure out loot council.
I volunteer.
For now, we need 3 to 5 people for tomorrow's loot council.
Keep it to 3.
Yeah,
Don't do any
I'll
more.
volunteer.
Keep it to as few people as possible. So just
Yeah, I want to keep separate classes if it's possible. I know 1 Foot and Varric just said yes, so
make it
if
Varric
we
then.
can keep it
Make
down
it
to
Varric.
1 rope.
Make it
Okay,
Varric because
Varric,
I
cool.
don't have the free time that he does unless Kelly takes. That's completely unfair. So my vote
I
is
can
Varric
represent
then.
the casters if you want.
Whole face, Varric, perfect. Viet, you want to represent the melee?
Sure.
We're just gonna have to keep it a little biased for Viet. If like maybe a weapon drops, I don't know. We're just gonna have to figure that out as it goes. Because obviously, maybe some people are gonna vote for themselves. I don't think Viet would do that. Just mentioning it.
Well,
We don't want people to get pissed.
We can discuss an officer jet too.
Perfect. We need
Yeah,
2
like
more
if it,
people if we can.
yeah, if a DFT drops or some shit, I mean, we could kind of just,
I think
talk
we're all on the
about it
same
later,
page
but-
at the moment. It's going
Yeah.
to a rogue.
yeah,
At least next one.
yeah.
I want to.
And then what's another big ticket item, like what, a rejuvenating
of
gem or
regen.
something?
Yep. How many? We got 2 shamans with it and 1 priest or 2
One
priests.
shaman, one
Isn't it
priest.
bigger for shamans?
No, it's good for both.
Okay, cool. So Robs or Ooming, would you want to represent healers? Wait, Robs, you're doing mana calls, right?
Omen can represent healers. That's fine.
Perfect.
Be more vocal too. It's the first time I ever heard you talk, man.
Yo, for real.
Yeah, Umi, you need to speak up, man. I mean, you bring up good points.
So
And then
that's
we just need
4. We
one
need
more.
one more. I mean, I know GTV's main tank, but I
No,
mean,
do
he
not.
said the most
Again, I
experience.
mentioned a rotating role. We
Yeah.
could possibly figure out someone else during raid or whatever,
I'd
and
like
just figure out a
GTV's
rotating
input
spot.
for tomorrow, personally.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
GGV's
too.
been very quiet.
Especially since he's stepped up as GM, I think it's important he's included.
That's true.
G, you here?
Did he AFK on us?
Don't worry, there's
He's like,
recording.
fuck it, it's recorded.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
taking a dab.
Oh
Maybe.
shit! Put on the wrong channel. Fuck.
No. So how many was that? Was that 4?
We have 4. It was Varric, Ooming, Viet, and Hoface.
We can worry about. Let's make the 5th one just like the road. TV wants to do it. There, it's settled.
Yeah,
If you're
either we'll make it
representing-
GTV or rotating.
If you're representing, like for example, I'm doing ranged, I need to look at the mage bis list as well to make sure I know what they need.
Yeah, tomorrow's raid will be kind of slow just because of the simple fact of the fact that we don't know what's going on. We want to take our time, just do Blackwing Lair and get it done properly.
So
Yeah.
what's our goal for loot distribution? Like, what are the qualities we're looking for? Like attendance, length of tenure, damage. What's best for the raid? Like, what are we specifically trying to do?
Well, like, let me give you an instance of like Crawl Sharok dropping. We don't want to give it to any new ass warriors like Asbestos or no offense to No Kite at the moment, but No Kite, just because they're brand new warriors. We want like something that huge, that rare, should be focused to like long standing members. Things
And an
with
orc.
less of a high quality should be focused towards to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I've also been like to almost every raid, so I know who's been attending and who comes and shows up.
You can keep track on our logs on Warcraft logs. There's an attendance tab that'll show you who showed up to what.
Oh, there you go too.
Hey you guys. So Anna put a message in the Thursday raid thing.
Saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
We lost
She
GTV.
put a message.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
I
with
got
at everyone.
You're basically getting everyone's attention. Like, hey, look, sign up.
Wait, did GTV just
Wait,
talk through Lily's mic?
I'm on Lily's headset right now.
This
Okay,
is disturbing.
He
I think
is
mine crashed
Lily.
or something.
All right, let's hear what you.
So I was pretty much listening the whole time, and I pretty much agree with everything that you guys were saying. For transparency, I made an announcements channel in the Discord so we can use that kind of as like, you know how we use a guild message of the day, we put like raid today for blah 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 whatever. We can use that as kind of like a message of the week. So we'll say like at the start of the week whatever we're planning on doing for the rest of that week or whatever.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
And then for roles, yeah, you guys were all talking about like delegating different roles to people, and I would pretty much agree with that too. The roster for tomorrow, I think we're gonna just have to go like kind of wing it.
Yes.
Like we know what we need.
Would be
Well, I mean,
heavy.
like I know for sure Agony's going to be asking me if he's going to get to go or not, so I'm going to need an answer for that.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm not.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
have to look.
he can have Bean spot pretty much because Bean usually comes as Shadow DPS, right? We could just fill that with Agony as a Warlock.
Yeah. But remember too, Agony is just restarted with us again. Also.
I mean, he's pretty much new guy status, in my
Yep.
opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
We can.
So it's kind of just like what G says. We're just going to wing it, see who shows up first on time, and then start creating the group, and then we'll see what we need as goes on, and whoever shows up after, we'll have to just see about it.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
not really going to have to worry about Agony anyways because he's the only Warlock without tier, so most of the tier that drops is going to go to him anyways, so.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
like it.
totally. That's another thing with the loot council thing is like most stuff is going to be pretty straightforward. Like people who need the tier is going to need the tier. We can decide the big items like if DFT or rejuvenating gem drops and whatever. We'll decide that. Like I guess it's been pretty
Yeah, we will need to simply adapt as we go and find out what things are working Thursday and what things are not. It's down.
Another question too: are we going to have to honor some of the things that have already been said about loot? For example, the original agreement was the first 2 Nef tiers were to go to warlocks, and the first 2 staffs were to go to mages. Are we still going to honor that, or what's the plan with
Who are
that?
those going to?
Who are
That's the better
mages?
question.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's the
'Cause the
thing. Most of
Nelson
the
tiers are
mages
done.
are pretty new guys, so that's why I brought it up. Because I don't want everyone being like, "Oh, they said they were gonna give this to the mages, but then if it goes to a warlock and everyone flips shit."
I mean, I feel like we should try to stick to the script as far as that goes. I feel like that'd be kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
But
we
I mean,
should keep
most
our
of
word.
those
If it went to
mages
Blink,
are like
if
a
it went to
month
Blink,
old.
that's fine, because that's the only mage off the top of my head right now that I can think that's been long standing with us.
Correct.
Every other
because
mage has
it's been
been
a
kind of like
revolving
floppy.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only mage off the top of my head that deserves Shadow Flame staff is Blink.
Yeah.
Again,
so
that's off the
that's
top of my head.
Well, and then that's kind of been irritating too, is because like I would like Mage Blade because it's a minor DPS upgrade from the staff I'm currently using, but since we have a revolving door of mages, it always goes to the next new mage, and then I never have a chance to get it.
Again, this is something we're just gonna have to figure out as we go. Tomorrow, let's just take it with a grain of salt and do our best to get through it, and then we'll kind of get people to figure out their best in slots, drop them in their classes tab, and then we'll figure out what people want priority on, and then try to work it around that. Tomorrow is just about getting through raid. I know that sounds, you know, malicious or like tired or whatever, but like it's true. Tomorrow we just want to get it done.
I think everyone will trust us as a group, though. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
so too.
Yeah, we just I think for right now we probably ended on that. Class leads need to reach out to their classes and ask them, give us a priority list of gear that you want, and post it in the.
now we want a full
tab.
list of what they want
Exactly.
prioritized. Correct.
Have you guys tried 60 upgrades? That's really nice.
We
I
want
love that
full
website.
list, but we also want top 3 priority. So we want a list of items they need, and then we want like a list of like top 3 priority items of like if I had 1 or 2 items that I could get the first of when we go into this raid, I want this or whatever. We
I'm
need to
not
figure
not
that
gonna
out.
lie. I don't think we need to go too far because think about it. Each person wants 3 items. How long is that honestly gonna take to go? Quite a while.
I mean, the real thing with loot that is so stupid that people get pissed off. As long as you just keep coming to fucking raid, the loot will come.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
it'll
know.
come.
A lot of people stress over loot like way too much, and it's like, man, this is a long, long road. Like Classic is a long journey, and everybody's gonna be geared to the fucking tits by the time we're hitting phase 6.
Yeah, by the time we hit Nax, we're probably just going to be just doing Nax for the simple fact we'll have so much gear. Maybe we'll do a MC for kicks to get some binding chances, but there's going to be a certain point where we stop doing Blackwing Lair.
So I say for the minimal for the loot now, just have people do 3. Just keep it to what we need, not what we
Yeah.
want to do. Do the 3.
Top 3, even though everybody's gonna probably have the same 3, but it's just like whatever.
Then that's where we start. That's where we start, and we tell everybody this is a start, guys. We are going to develop this with your help as well from the input from our raiders. Without them, we don't have a guild, and we don't.
Yeah, tomorrow is a work in progress.
And I
And
think-
like, if 5 people have the same item on their top of the list or whatever, and we give it to one person and not the other person, whatever, they'll get it next time. It's like
Yep.
it's not the last item that's ever gonna drop for us. So
And also, like, let's say someone's list is their, like, let's say someone's top priority list is the same, and it's Mage Blade, Mishundar, and something else, whatever, for their list, and 2 people have the exact same list. We talk with them and just be like, hey, only one person can have this first. Which one do you want first? Do you want
yeah,
Mishundar
exactly.
first?
Like,
Do
are you
want this?
cool with this guy getting it first?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a work in progress at the moment, but we just got to figure out what we need to do.
Yep, and you got to be careful with that too, because then you have to think, get those 1, 2, 3, but then we get that big item, that staff that you guys were talking off of Nef. That should it go to Blink?
Just because he's our longest standing mage at the moment. Like we gave Asher on call mind quickening gem, and then Asher left, but Blink is still here.
And that's what I think.
Consistency is a huge part.
Yes, we should, when we're doing the 1, 2, 3s, if 2 people or 3 people have the top one, we should look at other factors like how long have you been with us and your consistency.
Definitely.
And of course, and Aura says, it optimized for that class.
I
So-
think a big thing for tomorrow to be successful as well. I'm gonna kick GTV under the bus and say that we probably need to address the raid as a whole and let them know kind of what's going on.
Yeah, of
You
course.
know,
No, I was
hey,
saying
this
that to
is our new
GTV
loot
earlier. Like,
console. You know, we're gonna do our best to distribute loot as fairly as we can, but keep in mind, you know, this is a period of transition and we're doing our best.
but that also goes into what I said of like we need to tell people tomorrow like only be need rolling if this is your AQ setup. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, you only roll
need
on
to
your
make
main
sure
spec.
people are on.
Anything else should be
Yes.
greed.
Yeah, please.
But that's
please
another
don't mess
situation
around.
of like Zank or DJ Chow. You know, me, I'll try my best to avoid like need clicking stupid shit. You know, it's just we just have to mention that to keep our loot council as tight as possible, or as to keep it as simplified as possible.
Simple. Keep shit simple. That's what we should make our motto. The more we complicate it, the harder it's gonna get.
Does anyone have anything else they want to bring up before tomorrow? Because I think we've covered a lot at this point.
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
good.
I think we should maybe have like another quick meeting before raid starts too, just to be fresh. I don't know if y'all are okay with that because
I get a head count and everything too.
Yeah, some other officers weren't in here either. I don't think.
That's what we have the recording for.
Yep.
But to summarize, so we need to work on our like people's positions of like who needs to call what. Tomorrow we have our loot council set up, and we need to talk about DKP once AQ starts coming closer. And what else did we? Oh, the bank. GTV, real quick. We never got an answer. Did they actually send you any of the bank mats that were important or anything?
No, not yet. I don't think.
Okay.
I'll
No worries.
probably talk to Paul and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, give them a week to cool off or something, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Let them relax right now. They don't need to be.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
Just had to
no.
ask the question.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the guild bank that we're in like dire need of. Like, oh my god, we have to have
Agreed.
this for tomorrow.
Everyone's got their Bloodvine sets. I have all my Arcanite and shit for my Thunder Fury. I don't know if there's anything else anyone actually needs off specific top of my head.
The last thing, of course, would just last leads to outside of this meeting. Start talking to people, sending in your 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and one thing that will also help is we should start looking at our gear list for Phase 5, and then look at anything that we can get now that they will still be using for best in slot in Phase 5. Because if somebody like needs a sword or whatever from from Blackwing Lair, but they can like kind of easily upgrade it in AQ, then maybe we could give it to somebody who can't as easily upgrade it. Like just using a sword as an example, like it's probably
No,
not gonna
that's
be a
exactly
sword,
what I was
but-
saying about the DFT.
Yeah.
That's why we shouldn't give it to an enhancement shaman because
Yeah.
Warriors and Rogue end slot game piece. You know,
Yeah,
if it's
like
something
they'll
that can be
they'll use it
replaceable.
forever
Yeah.
over
Alright.
somebody else who will use it until they replace it with something.
Gotcha. We're spinning the wheel on that one. Talked about that multiple
Right,
times
okay.
over.
One other thing I just thought of we haven't discussed yet. Do we want to continue to collect dues, and if so, where are we sending them?
I think this week let's ignore it and then talk about during the week about what guild dues we need. What do we need guild dues for at the moment? Because we should start
Flask.
stocking up for some money for flasks for AQ.
Yeah.
So GTV,
yes.
can you make a bank guild bank alt
Yep.
tonight, and then update us with what that guild bank is, so we all know?
Yeah, sure.
Can I make one quick suggestion on that? Let's not do a week by week thing. Let's just do a monthly due. It's a lot easier and a lot more time to track it.
That's true. But what do you want to ask for 40 gold a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has to be in one lump sum. Has to be one lump sum because then you just mark it off for the month.
Chinese installments.
Do our tanks have flask and everything they need for tomorrow?
I
now?
bought a flask for GTV, so yeah, we're good on that. I don't usually use a flask during raid. I never have made the only like boss that I have to worry about my health on is Brood Lord.
Okay. All right. So since it's taking a bit, I know people want to get out of here, but let's talk about the step-by-step before tomorrow. Main raid leader. Everyone okay with Mellow and GTV? Like, can focus on
That's
tanking?
fine because usually I don't grab raid buffs, so I can just set up the group and I can just stay in group online, etc. So like I don't have to worry about world buffs or being logged onto another character. That's fine.
Cool.
And
Sounds
plus,
good.
you can just whisper me INV, and it's an automatic invite for raid.
Okay, so here's the question: is who's gonna be the master looter tomorrow?
One of you loot counselors.
Between you guys, Varric, Rob's.
It should either be Varric or Viet, I assume, because Ooming is a healer. We don't want him having to
Agreed.
stop.
I'm
And
back there
who else
skinning
did
half
we?
the time anyway.
Who's the fourth that we had
I'll
for?
do it. I'll do it.
We had
Okay.
Viet, Booming, Ho-Face, and me, right?
Ho-Faith. Yeah, we could also have Ho-Face do it if he's willing to.
Oh,
Do you
If
want
he
me
also
to
hits-
take over disenchanting?
Sure.
Ho-Face? Yeah, sure.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, and then here's the thing: for the master looter can always be the same person if they're willing, but they just would work with soul decision.
Right. Now, Loot Council, we can use RC Loot Council to like vote, right? Is that how it works?
Yep.
100%. That's what need roll agreed.
so-
Oh, yeah.
So
Who's
we
You're
part
have
of that
to set
voting?
us 5 on Loot Council to do it, right? Like you have to
Yeah.
assign us.
Yeah,
I
I'll figure
don't
out
know.
how to set it all up.
Okay, yeah. We'll have to talk about that before raid, and we'll figure that shit out.
Yeah,
And
because it pops up a different window for like the loot council rather than like the normal people who just get that like need or greed box. It pops up a window with everybody's roles, shows their items and who is voting. It shows like all the votes, the amount of votes that each people are getting, and what their roles are and everything.
Right.
And here's the thing: we should just have a backup idea. If it's not working, we can always just do the 1, 2, 3. They want it, and then they link with their place in it. We're having
Yep.
issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just send some whispers out.
Yeah, that's how I used to do loot council before we had add-ons. Was just you linked the item that you were replacing, and then the loot council went off into their channel and had their discussion.
Okay, guys. Does anyone else have anything to say about any other topics? Because I feel like we covered quite a bit of surface.
No, let's just get through tomorrow's raid and enjoy ourselves and, just get through raid.
Well, thanks for. I know we weren't scheduled to do anything tonight, but I appreciate everyone hopping on, and making sure that we keep the guild on track. That's important. So
Yeah, it's an effort.
Quick question: Is Monday okay with everyone here to do an officer meeting? Just discuss anything that went on during the week.
That's fine. Yeah, we should discuss our
Normal raid
raid
time?
tomorrow.
Yeah, Monday will be fine. Or
Same
we'll just
time.
have to take the baby.
On
Guess
yeah,
I'm,
for like an whatever.
yeah, I guess I'm officially the guild stenographer now.
Sure.
I appreciate you.
Thank you,
Can you give
man.
me some coffee?
We'll get you a
Some coffee.
typewriter.
Give me some coffee, bitch. Cream and sugar. All right, guys. Are we good then? Is that everything?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop
Yeah, I think
Discord
this
now.
was good. I'm glad we kind of opened the air a little bit. I was a little worried yesterday, you know. And
No,
shit.
this is what we
I'm
need,
glad
like
we did.
structure-wise.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we needed.
I think
Okay,
we
guys.
all were nervous.
Yep. Okay, guys. The time is currently 8:24 p.m. Central Time. Officially the end of the first meet of the Scum Guild office. Have a good night.
Later, guys.